New species found, changing our understanding of human origins. Scientists are thrilled. More information coming soon. Humans today are Homo sapiens. Homo sapiens evolved by walking on two legs. Sahelanthropus began transition 6 million years ago. Humans appeared 5 million years later. Humans lived, evolved, and enterbird. They got better at making tools and technology by improving their bodies and brains. Scientists study bones, genes, and environments to learn about our ancestors. Humans originated in Africa, but the specifics are unclear. Ancestors evolved separately that mixed genes and tools due to changes in Africa. It affected human genes. Genes, not fossils, can track our species' migrations, movements, and evolution. Oldest human ancestor DNA found in Cima de los Usos. Experts found teeth and bones from 28 people in a cave in Spain's Atapuerca Mountains. In 2016, scientists found old remains with some DNA. These remains are the oldest known Denisovans, our close relatives. Researchers believe a common ancestor existed 500,000 to 750,000 years ago. Humans, Neanderthals, and Denisovans share genes, and there is another unknown species that also influenced our DNA. We all have a common ancestor. Unclear who it was. Homo heidelbergensis lived long ago. This species family tree led to Homo sapiens in Africa, and to Homo neanderthalensis and the Denisovans in Europe. Finding ancient DNA in Africa is difficult because of unusual preservation conditions. Only a small number of ancient African human genomes, older than 10,000 years, have been analyzed. Fossils reveal diverse appearances of early humans. Jebel Irhoud bones have both modern and archaic features. Humans were spread across Africa in early times, not just in one place. Old Homo sapiens fossils found in Florisbad, South Africa, 260,000 years old, and the Kibish Formation in Ethiopia, 195,000 years old. Herdo, Ethiopia has ancient skulls of 2 adults and a child. They are called Homo sapiens adultu because they are slightly larger in size. Neanderthals are not considered a subspecies because they are similar to modern humans. A skull from Ngorongoro, Tanzania, is 120,000 years old and has a mix of old and modern features. Researchers disagree on identifying modern human fossils. Some people group things together to simplify classification. African tools improved 300,000 years ago. The first fossils of modern humans are about 195,000 years old. Older fossils, like the one in Nigeria's Iwu Eluru cave, look more ancient. Becoming modern humans was not a direct path. They used the Acheulean culture 1.75 million years ago. The tools were used for a long time. 400,000 years ago, spears were used for hunting in Germany. They could only be used up close, which was sometimes dangerous. As our ancestors evolved, their way of life and tools also changed. 300,000 years ago, humans made better hunting tools with sharp points and handles to improve their tool technology. Projectile points in southern Kenya, dating 298,000 to 320,000 years ago, were helpful for hunting risky animals. It affected how early humans interacted with nature and others. In the past, people used tools to make clothes and work with wood. They used bone points for fishing too. It happened 90,000 years ago in Katanga, Congo. People in different groups developed and shared tool improvements, like fossils, at different times and places. Other unrelated humans may be in these groups. Stone blades near Chennai, India, are 250,000 years old. The toolkit in India came after modern humans in Africa. Other species may have developed it separately, or some humans left Africa earlier. Genetic studies show that humans evolved in Africa. Jawbone found in Israel suggests humans lived there 177,000 to 194,000 years ago. The jawbone is similar to ours and had advanced tools. Humans have been in the region for a long time and found the oldest human burial. New evidence discovered in caves in southern China dating back 80,000 to 120,000 years. Jinyashan jawbone is 100,000 years old and may be from Homo sapiens. It looks modern but has some old features. Dagshin Cave had ancient teeth that were different from ours. This suggests ancient humans lived far from Africa, possibly earlier than expected. People arrived in Europe 210,000 years ago. The Ephedemus skull fragment in southern Greece is very old, maybe 200,000 plus years. It could be the oldest human fossil found outside Africa. Experts disagree about the site. The poorly preserved remains resemble Neanderthals found nearby in the cave. People doubt the site's dating analysis because the fossils were moved from their original layers. Some tribes lived outside Africa, but they are not connected to our evolution. Genetic analysis shows our ancient relatives and extinct descendants. DNA tests reveal that many non-Africans, like Europeans and Australia's Aboriginal people, can trace their ancestry back to a migration out of Africa about 50,000 to 60,000 years ago. Lower sea levels in the past allowed humans to leave Africa, the Arabian Peninsula, and the Middle East around 55,000 years ago. African immigrants may have mixed with ancient hominids in the Middle East or China. Their family seems to have vanished or been wiped out by a later migration. Other humans lived with Homo sapiens. We lived with and mixed with other human-like species, including ones we haven't discovered yet. Other species disappeared, only humans remained. The hobbit, or Homo floresiensis, lived on Flores Island until 50,000 years ago. We don't know what happened to them, and they aren't related to us. Neanderthals lived in Eurasia and went extinct 40,000 years ago. Neanderthals may have survived until 29,000 years ago in places like Gibraltar. We have Neanderthal DNA in us. Denisovans are related to humans. Scientists are unsure about their appearance and whether there were different kinds. Humans may have mated with Denisovans 15,000 years ago, but there is still disagreement about it. Asians today have a small amount of Denisovan DNA, ranging from 3 to 5%. Dragon Man skull find could change human ancestry understanding. The intact skull is controversial among fossils that challenge human origin theory. A weird skull was discovered in China in the 1930s when Japan invaded. Local workers found it near Harbin during bridge construction. The skull was large. The brow bone covered the eyes. The skull is big. The man hid the skull in a well. New study finds skull of new human species called Dragon Man. 2 investigations confirm skull is 146,000 years old. The skull is special with ancient and modern features. The Harbin skull is like other human remains in Asia. It could be more about us than Neanderthals. Scientists believe it could be connected to the Denisovans, a group related to Neanderthals. Studying our ancestors helps us understand our origins through their skull. A worker found a skull and told his grandchildren before he died. In 2018, the grandchildren went back to the well for their reward. Shang Jidi, a paleontologist, took a photo. The fossil is in good shape and has unique features. The Harbin skull looks like ancient humans, with a short and wide shape and a tall forehead. Sometimes it has one tooth with 3 roots. It has delicate cheekbones like ours. The family gave the specimen to Hubei Geo University's museum. The team studied 95 fossil skulls, jaws, and teeth, and found over 600 features. A supercomputer made trees to show how hominins are related. The Harbin skull is connected to our species on a new branch. Experts disagree on whether it's a different species or where it fits in the human family tree. Katerina Harvedi says the skull's features are mostly scale masses. Species can differ due to factors like gender, age, adaptations, and fossil age. Harvedi says Dragon Man is not a different species. The Dali cranium is a different species called Daliensis. It is found in China and is classified with the Harbin skull. Denisovans were an ancient Asian group. Asian fossils identified as belonging to Asians. Genetic confirmation needed because few fossils available. Jawbone found in Tibet, likely from ancient human. First human fossil found outside cave. The Dragon Man is connected to the Xiab mandible. Neanderthals and Denisovans split from Homo sapiens ancestors 600,000 years ago. Neanderthals lived in Europe and the Middle East. Denisovans went to Asia. Finding connections between these groups is hard. The team wants to analyze Dragon Man's genes, but it may require destroying small fossil samples. The Dragon Man's preserved traits challenge species classification due to nature's unpredictable rules. Dragon Man is cool. The laborer found it in an unknown location, possibly far north. Michael Petraglia, a paleoanthropologist, says winter temperatures in this location can drop to single digits in Fahrenheit, even with mild weather today. 146,000 years ago, it probably wasn't much hotter. Skull features may have adapted to cold climate. Petraglia suggests that the environment isolated the Dragon Man and its relatives, which may explain their unique features. Stringer announced that the team's database and photos of the Dragon Man are now public for other researchers to study. Many people want to do it. Ancient human remains discovered in Israel. Nesher Ramla excavations found a Homo skull. This group lived in Israel and interacted with humans. The skull is 140,000 to 120,000 years old and belongs to a new type of human. Thanks for joining us on our exploration of human evolution. We'll keep you informed. Stay curious and keep learning.